What's up guys, my name is Ace, and it's been a little while since I've done a video like this. We're going to be going over my current top 5 best class setups in Black Ops 4. Now keep in mind, when I say best class setups, these might not necessarily be the 100% sort of meta class setups you'd normally see, like with a SOG 9 mil or a Maddox. These are more so the classes that I feel have really emerged since the last big weapon balancing update that I feel are a ton of fun and I don't really see a whole lot of people using, so I want to encourage people to give them a try, and you just might find a class that you absolutely love. So first up, let's have a look at one of my new favorite SMG classes. This is actually with the MX9. The MX9 is a pretty solid SMG now after all of the updates that we've seen. And with this, we're using hybrid mags, rapid fire, as well as stock. And these are just the best attachments that I personally found with the MX9. With that recent balancing update, it got a faster aim down sight time, so it's much more competitive in those close quarter situations against other SMGs. And then when you add that rapid fire on there, your time to kill is quite solid up close. For our secondary, we've got a launcher on there, which will help in a ton of situations, whether that be with razor wire or barricades or enemy score streaks. You can take them out. Our gear is going to be stim shot, which you are going to be seeing a lot, and I think pretty much all of the classes I share today, it's pretty much a crutch for me, and I feel like it's just so important if you have a somewhat aggressive playstyle. For perks, we've got Flak Jacket, Gung Ho, as well as Dead Silence, and once again, you are going to be seeing Gung Ho and Dead Silence a lot on my classes. I feel like these are just practically necessary if you're an aggressive player that wants to do as well as possible. But when it comes to Flak Jacket, I feel like Flak Jacket has really emerged since that last update because now it helps you against fire damage as well as radiation damage and then explosive damage, and this will help prevent quite a few deaths throughout a match. You don't have to worry nearly as much about mesh mines or Firebreak's reactor core or Battery's war machine or Outrider's bow. You don't have to worry too much about these when you have Flak Jacket equipped. So if you guys haven't given the MX9 a serious try since that last update, I would highly recommend you do it because I find it's now one of the better SMGs in the game. This brings us to the next class setup that I have for you guys, and this is a class setup that I feel was kind of underrated before the update, and then for whatever reason they decided to buff this gun, and this is with the Auger DMR. So with this class setup, we're using reflex sights, as well as both of the high caliber attachments, which makes it so we get a 2-shot kill as long as we're hitting our target in the upper chest. And we're also using fast mags on here because I just find I burn through ammo relatively quickly, and the Auger has a pretty slow reload time, and I just hate getting caught on a reload, so I really like using fast mags on there. You could also substitute that for long barrel if you would like. Our gear, once again, is going to be stim shot, and then our perks are going to be scavenger because you will burn through ammo relatively quickly, especially with that increased fire rate cap that this thing has. And then once again, we've got Gung Ho as well as Dead Silence. In my opinion, in public matches, this is now one of the best class setups that you could possibly use. This gun has an insane time to kill as long as you're hitting your shots to the upper chest and you have a decent trigger finger. And there's really not much out there that can compete with this gun reliably because it's amazing up close and it's also amazing across the map. This brings us to the next class setup, and this one is with the KN57. I really feel like this gun is super underrated. Most people don't know that even without rapid fire, the KN57 has the fastest time to kill in the assault rifle category up close. Once you add rapid fire on top of that, you get an even faster time to kill. And I also find this gun to just be extremely consistent. It's got very little recoil, it's got excellent iron sights. I actually prefer using this with iron sights. And therefore the class setup that I really like using at the moment with this is with quick draw, hybrid mags, as well as rapid fire. We've also got a launcher on our class so we can take out streaks and barbed wire and barricades. And then once again, we've got stim shot for our gear, special issue equipment, scavenger so we can go on those streaks, and this gun is really good for going on streaks with, Gung Ho for our sprint out time, and finally Dead Silence so the enemies don't hear us coming and we can hear what's going on around us much easier as we're sprinting around. I'm still amazed that I barely see KN57s around on the map. This gun is much more powerful than most people think. This brings us to the next class setup that I've been really enjoying since the update, and this is with the MOG 12. And a lot of people get really annoyed with this class setup, but this class setup is also a perfect counter to this class setup. So if you ever run into somebody using this, switch to this exact class and you'll have no problem with them whatsoever. So with this, we're using long barrel, choke, as well as Dragon's Breath, which means we're going to get very consistent one-shot kills as long as we're within range and as long as they don't have Flak Jacket or armor on them. Our gear is once again going to be stim shot so we can get back in the fight as soon as possible. Our first perk is going to be Flak Jacket, and that is the key that makes this class a perfect counter to itself. If you're running into somebody that's using the Dragon's Breath Operator mod on the MOG 12, throw Flak Jacket on there and you can counter them easily. But personally, when I use this, I almost never run into people using Flak Jackets, so therefore I can dominate with this. As for the other perks, these are the same ones that I use on all of my classes. Gung Ho for that sprint out time, which is especially important with a shotgun class, and once again, Dead Silence for that stealthiness. I've personally been having so much fun with this because up until that last update, the shotguns in this game weren't really all that viable outside of hardcore. And now I can finally use that shotgun playstyle, which I feel is a really nice change of pace, and it's really rewarding as well to get those nice crisp one-shot kills. And for anybody that's upset about me recommending this class, all you have to do is use Flak Jacket if you want to counter it. So finally, this brings us to one last class setup that I'm going to be sharing with you today, and this is actually with the Vapor. This is another gun that I rarely see anymore. We saw it a bunch when the game first launched, but then they nerfed high caliber quite a bit, and since then, I rarely see the Vapor. So with this class setup, we're using the Elo sight, long barrel, stock, as well as rapid fire. You could also substitute stock for high caliber if you'd like. That's also a great way to run this gun. Our gear is going to be stim shot once again, and then we've got our standard perk setup here. We've got scavenger, so we can go on a longer streak with that. We've got gung ho on our class, and finally dead silence. The Vapor, I feel, since that last update, is a great all-around assault rifle. As long as you're using rapid fire, I feel like it kind of needs rapid fire in order to keep up with its base time to kill. But once you have that attachment on there, this gun keeps up quite well to the other assault rifles in the game, and it's quite accurate. With long barrel, it's got an excellent range potential, and I've been finding I can typically do quite well with the Vapor now. So with that, that's going to wrap it up for today's video on my current top 5 best class setups to use in Black Ops 4. If you've been stuck using the same class setups for a long time now and you haven't really changed away from them, consider giving some of these a try, and it might breathe a little bit of life back into the game for you. I'd like to know in the comment section below, what is your current favorite gun or class setup that you like to use in Black Ops 4? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.
Yeah.